Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday. Welcome back to Social Studies. And today in our lesson, we're going to be taking a more local specific focus on Colorado history, connecting to the bigger picture issues about Reconstruction, the Jim Crow era, and racism in the United States that we've been learning about this week. Specifically, we're going to learn about the history of the KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan, in Colorado, and how actually Colorado had the second largest percentage population of membership in the Ku Klux Klan in the 1920s out of any state in the entire country. The Ku Klux Klan ran the entire state government of Colorado, the city of Denver, the mayor, the governor, the city council, the police department. This city and state was run by the KKK in the 20s. It's a kind of a little known fact, kind of kept secret because most people aren't proud of that fact. Of course, they shouldn't be, but they don't want to talk about it. But it is important to talk about this because if we ignore those issues and pretend like they never happened, then we can't learn from them and how to try to avoid them and make sure that those problems don't repeat themselves in the future. And of course, this connects to what we've been learning about because this week we've been learning about the lost cause myth, this myth that essentially rewrites the entire history of the Civil War and Reconstruction according to white supremacy, creating all these lies about the Civil War, why it happened, and what happened during Reconstruction and why that failed as well. And we also saw the creation of film, and specifically the movie The Birth of a Nation, which you'll see in the review section after this, but how because of this film, The Birth of a Nation, the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, which had died out in the 1800s, didn't exist anymore, is recreated, reborn, just because of this movie that shows the KKK as these heroic people saving the South and the country from the horrors of racial equality. Again, racist propaganda is what that is, but the effect of this racial propaganda, or racist propaganda, white supremacist propaganda, is that the KKK explodes across the country. And specifically, we're going to see how that impacted Colorado specifically. So that's what we're going to look at in our lesson today, the kind of secret hidden history of how the KKK ran this entire state and city 100 years ago. Specifically, yes, the 1920s, 100 years ago. And make sure you pay attention to what lessons we can learn from this, making connections to, well, this is where you live less than pretty much 100 years ago. So how does this create the city, state, world that we live in today? What are the lessons that we can learn from this? And how can we use this knowledge to work towards stopping things like this from happening again in the future? Because they very well could. It's up to us if they do or if they do not. So hopefully you find this interesting. Learn a little bit about the place where you live and its racist history. And I hope you have a great day. If you want to watch the full thing, this full video that we're going to be watching, you can always watch the entire episode. It's called Colorado Experience. It's a show by Rocky Mountain PBS. The name of the title of this episode is just KKK by Rocky Mountain PBS. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube if you want to see it, but we'll be watching clips. I hope you find it interesting and have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later.